The massive Zirconian ship loomed over Earth, its crystalline structure refracting sunlight into a dazzling array of colors. Humanity held its collective breath, unsure whether this moment marked the dawn of a new era or the beginning of the end. Captain Amelia Chen stood at attention in the United Earth Council chamber, her crisp uniform a stark contrast to the chaos of emotions swirling within her. As Earth's foremost senolinguist and diplomat, she had been chosen to lead the first face-to-face meeting with the Zirconians. "Remember, Captain," General Hassan whispered, "the fate of our species rests on this encounter." Amelia nodded, her throat dry. No pressure, she thought wryly. The chamber doors hissed open, revealing 3 Zirconians. Their bodies seemed to be composed of living crystal, shifting and refracting light with each movement. Their faces were an intricate network of geometric patterns, somehow conveying both alien beauty and unsettling otherness. "Greetings, representatives of Earth," the central Zirconian spoke, its voice a melodious chime that seemed to resonate within Amelia's mind. "I am High Arbiter Zix. We come seeking knowledge and alliance." Amelia stepped forward, bowing slightly. "Welcome to Earth, High Arbiter. I am Captain Amelia Chen, representing the United Earth Council. We are honored by your presence and open to peaceful exchange." The High Arbiter's crystalline form shimmered, an action Amelia interpreted as approval. "Your species intrigues us, Captain Chen. We have observed your rapid advancement and resilience in the face of adversity. It is unexpected in such a young race." A murmur rippled through the human delegates. Amelia maintained her composure, though her heart raced. "Thank you, High Arbiter. Humanity has indeed faced many challenges, but we believe our diversity and adaptability are our greatest strengths." A bold claim, another Zirconian interjected, its tone sharp. "Many species boast of their potential, yet few truly possess the capacity for greatness in the cosmic arena." Amelia felt a flicker of irritation at the dismissive tone, but quashed it quickly. "With respect, we do not merely boast. Humanity has overcome numerous obstacles in our brief history. We are eager to learn and contribute to the galactic community." The High Arbiter raised a crystalline appendage, silencing its companion. "An admirable sentiment, Captain. However, the galaxy is a harsh and unforgiving place. Alliances are not forged through words alone, but through proof of worth." A tense silence fell over the chamber. Amelia sensed the weight of the moment, knowing her next words could shape humanity's future. "We understand, High Arbiter. How would you suggest we demonstrate our worth?" The Zirconians exchanged glances, their crystalline bodies pulsing with inner light. Finally, the High Arbiter spoke. "There is a test, Captain Chen. We call it the Crucible of Stars. It has been attempted by many species seeking to prove their mettle. None have succeeded." Amelia's mind raced, calculating the implications. "And if we were to succeed?" "If you were to succeed," the High Arbiter's voice resonated with a mixture of doubt and intrigue, "you would earn not just our respect, but our full support in the galactic arena. Your species would be recognized as true contenders in the cosmic order." Amelia straightened her shoulders, feeling the eyes of every human in the room upon her. This was it, the moment that could define humanity's place among the stars. "High Arbiter, on behalf of humanity, we accept your challenge. We will face the Crucible of Stars." As the words left her lips, Amelia saw a flicker of surprise cross the Zirconians' alien features. She realized that they had not expected acceptance, perhaps even hoped for refusal. In that moment, she knew that the real test had already begun. The fate of humanity now hung in the balance, poised on the edge of an impossible challenge. But as Amelia looked around at her fellow humans, she saw not fear, but determination. Whatever the Crucible of Stars held in store, they would face it together. The stage was set. Humanity's greatest trial was about to begin. The United Earth Council chamber buzzed with a mixture of excitement and trepidation as High Arbiter Zix prepared to reveal the details of the Crucible of Stars. Captain Amelia Chen stood at the forefront, her posture rigid, masking the whirlwind of emotions beneath her composed exterior. "The crucible of stars," Six began, his crystalline form pulsating with an inner light, "is not merely a test, but a gauntlet that will push your species to its absolute limits." The holographic display in the center of the chamber flickered to life, projecting a series of harsh alien environments. "It consists of 3 phases," Six continued. "First, the trial of flesh, where your physical endurance will be tested in environments that defy your biology. Second, the labyrinth of the mind, a psychic battleground where your mental fortitude and problem-solving skills will be stretched beyond breaking point. Finally, the cosmic crucible, a simulated galactic conflict where you must prove your worth as potential allies in the face of overwhelming odds." Murmurs rippled through the human delegates. General Hassan leaned towards Amelia, whispering, "This is madness, Chen. No wonder no one's ever completed it." Amelia's mind raced, processing the enormity of the challenge. "High Arbiter," she spoke, her voice steady despite her inner turmoil. "You mentioned that no species has ever completed the crucible. What were the outcomes for those who failed?" Zix's form shimmered, a gesture Amelia had come to recognize as hesitation. "Those who fail the crucible are deemed unworthy of galactic citizenship. Their species are overlooked in matters of cosmic importance." The implication hung heavy in the air. Failure didn't just mean losing face. It meant condemning humanity to insignificance on the galactic stage. "And the time frame?" Amelia pressed, acutely aware of the weight of every question. "You have 1 Earth year to prepare," Zix replied. "The crucible itself has no set duration. It ends when you succeed, or when you can no longer continue." A tense silence fell over the chamber. Amelia felt the eyes of every human upon her, their hopes and fears palpable. She took a deep breath, steeling herself for the words that would shape humanity's future. "We accept these terms, High Arbiter," she declared, her voice ringing with determination. "Humanity will face your crucible, and we will prevail." As the words left her lips, Amelia saw a ripple of surprise pass through the Zirconian delegation. She realized that despite offering the challenge, they had not expected acceptance. In that moment, she knew that humanity had already begun to defy their expectations. The next few hours were a whirlwind of activity. As the Zirconians departed to make preparations, the United Earth Council erupted into heated debate. Some argued for caution, suggesting diplomatic alternatives. Others saw the crucible as an opportunity to prove humanity's worth on the galactic stage. Amidst the chaos, Amelia found herself pulled into a private conference with Earth's top military and scientific minds. The gravity of the situation weighed heavily on everyone present. "We need a team," General Hassan stated, his usual bravado tempered by the enormity of the task ahead. "The best of the best. Not just soldiers, but scientists, engineers, diplomats. People who can think on their feet and adapt to the impossible." Dr. Yuki Tanaka, Earth's leading xenobiologist, nodded in agreement. "We're not just facing physical challenges, the psychic aspects of the labyrinth of the mind. We'll need individuals with exceptional mental resilience." As the discussion continued, Amelia's mind raced with possibilities. She thought of the diverse tapestry of human experience, the resilience forged through millennia of overcoming adversity, the creativity born from countless cultures intermingling, the unyielding spirit that had driven humanity to reach for the stars. "We don't just need the best individuals," Amelia interjected, a plan forming in her mind. "We need a team that represents the best of humanity as a whole. Our strength lies in our diversity, in our ability to come together and innovate in the face of the impossible." The room fell silent, all eyes turning to her. Amelia stood tall, her voice filled with conviction. "We have 1 year to prepare for a challenge that no other species has ever overcome. But that's our advantage. We're not bound by the limitations of those who came before us. We'll approach this in a way the Zirconians have never seen." As nods of agreement spread through the room, Amelia felt a spark of hope ignite within her. The crucible of stars loomed ahead, an impossible task set by an alien race that saw humanity as little more than cosmic upstarts. But they had no idea what humanity was truly capable of. And in 1 year's time, the galaxy would learn that the indomitable human spirit was a force to be reckoned with. The stage was set. The countdown to humanity's greatest trial had begun. The sprawling complex of Nueva Esperanza hummed with activity, a testament to humanity's determination in the face of overwhelming odds. Built in the heart of the Amazon rainforest, it served as the training ground for Earth's chosen champions, the 12 individuals selected to face the crucible of stars. Captain Amelia Chen stood on a viewing platform, watching the diverse team below. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, the brilliant xenobiologist, was engaged in an animated discussion with Zara Okoro, the Nigerian quantum physicist. Nearby, ex-Navy SEAL John Reynolds was running combat drills with Arya Khan, a Parker expert from Mumbai. "Quite the motley crew you've assembled, Captain," a voice spoke from behind her. Amelia turned to see General Hassan approaching, his expression a mixture of curiosity and skepticism. "The best humanity has to offer, General," Amelia replied, her tone confident despite the doubts that nagged at her. "Each chosen not just for their individual skills, but for how they complement the team as a whole." Hassan nodded, his gaze sweeping over the training grounds. "And you believe this? Diversity will be our advantage." Amelia understood the unspoken question. Many, both human and Zirconian, had expressed doubt about Earth's approach. The Zirconians, in particular, seemed perplexed by the variety in the human team, having expected a more homogeneous group of physical specimens. "I do," Amelia affirmed. "The Crucible isn't just about physical prowess. It's about adaptability, creative problem-solving, and teamwork. Our diversity is our strength." As if to underscore her point, a commotion erupted below. The holographic environment simulator had malfunctioned, projecting a scenario of extreme gravitational flux. Instead of panic, Amelia watched with pride as the team quickly adapted. Zara quickly calculated safe zones, while Arya and John used their agility to rescue team members caught in high-gravity pockets. "Impressive," Hassan admitted, a hint of a smile playing on his lips. "But will it be enough?" Amelia's reply was interrupted by the arrival of Dr. Elena Rossi, the team's psychologist. "Captain, General," she greeted them, her expression grave. "We need to talk about the mental toll this training is taking." In the privacy of Amelia's office, Elena laid out her concerns. "The physical challenges are pushing them to their limits, yes, but it's the psychological pressure that worries me most. The weight of humanity's future, the alien environments, the knowledge that no species has ever succeeded. It's a lot to bear." Amelia nodded, her own sleepless nights a testament to the stress they all faced. "What do you suggest, Doctor?" "They need hope," Elena stated simply. "Something tangible to remind them of what they're fighting for." The conversation was cut short by an urgent message. The Zirconian liaison, a junior arbiter named Vex, requested an immediate meeting. In the conference room, Vex's crystalline form shimmered with what Amelia had learned to recognize as agitation. "We have observed your training methods," Vex began without preamble, its tone a mixture of confusion and disdain. "They are unorthodox. The Crucible demands peak physical and mental performance. Your team spends time on activities that seem irrelevant." Amelia raised an eyebrow. "Such as music, art, recreational activities. These do not prepare one for the harsh realities of the Crucible." Amelia felt a surge of defensive anger, but she kept her voice level. "With respect, Arbiter Vex, these activities are crucial to our preparation. They foster creativity, strengthen bonds between team members, and provide necessary mental respite." Vex's form pulsed with skepticism. "No species has ever approached the Crucible in this manner. It is illogical." "Perhaps," Amelia conceded, "but no species has ever completed the Crucible either. We believe our approach gives us the best chance of success." As Vex departed, clearly unconvinced, Amelia couldn't help but feel a flicker of doubt. Were they on the right path, or was their uniquely human approach dooming them to failure before they even began? Pushing aside her uncertainties, Amelia made her way back to the training grounds. As she watched her team work together, adapting to ever-changing scenarios with ingenuity and determination, she felt her resolve strengthen. They were forging their own path, one that no alien race could have anticipated. And in that uniqueness lay their greatest hope for success. The crucible of stars loomed ever closer, an impossible challenge that had broken countless species before them. But as Amelia looked at her team, Earth's finest, drawn from every corner of the globe, she dared to believe that the impossible was within their grasp. The galaxy had no idea what was coming. Humanity was about to rewrite the rules of the game. The Zirconian ship pulsed with an otherworldly energy as it carried Earth's champions to the first stage of the Crucible of Stars. Captain Amelia Chen stood with her team, a mix of anticipation and dread palpable in the air. "Remember your training," Amelia addressed the group, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "Trust each other, adapt, and never give up. We're not just fighting for ourselves, but for the future of humanity." As if on cue, the ship shuddered to a halt. A crystalline door materialized, opening to reveal a blinding light. High Arbiter Zix's voice resonated through their minds. "The trial of flesh begins. May your species find the strength to endure." With a collective deep breath, the team stepped into the unknown. They found themselves on a planet that defied logic, a world where the laws of physics seemed to be in constant flux. Gravity shifted unpredictably, atmospheric pressure oscillated wildly, and the very ground beneath their feet alternated between solid, liquid, and gaseous states. "Stick to the plan," John Reynolds shouted over the cacophony of this chaotic world. "Zara, what's our safe zone?" Zara Okoro, already running calculations through her portable quantum computer, pointed to a shimmering area about 500 meters away. "There, but the path is unstable. We need to move fast and stay connected." As they began their treacherous journey, each team member's unique skills came into play. Area Khan's Parker expertise allowed her to navigate the shifting terrain, creating safe passages for the others. Dr. Yuki Tanaka's xenobiological knowledge helped the team adapt to the rapidly changing atmospheric conditions. But the crucible was relentless. Just as they seemed to gain their footing, the world around them transformed again. A sudden gravity surge sent half the team floating helplessly into the air, while the others struggled against crushing pressure. "Link up," Amelia commanded, her military training kicking in. The team formed a human chain, those on the ground anchoring those aloft. It was a testament to their training and trust in one another, a display of unity that seemed to give even the impassive Zirconian observers pause. Hours blended into days as the team faced one impossible scenario after another. They traversed landscapes of liquid fire, navigated through storms of crystalline shards, and endured temperature fluctuations that would have instantly killed an unprepared human. Throughout it all, they relied not just on their physical training, but on the bonds they had forged. When exhaustion threatened to overwhelm them, they lifted each other's spirits with jokes, songs, and reminders of what they were fighting for. It was during one particularly harrowing challenge, crossing a chasm of antimatter, that the true strength of their diverse team shone through. While the Zirconians had clearly expected a brute force approach, the humans instead combined their varied expertise in an unexpected way. Zara's quantum calculations, combined with Yuki's understanding of exotic matter interactions, allowed them to create a temporary bridge of neutral particles. Aria's agility and John's strength were crucial in deploying the device, while the rest of the team provided support and backup plans. As they finally reached the other side, battered but unbroken, Amelia caught a glimpse of the Zirconian observers. For the first time, she saw something akin to respect in their crystalline features. The final challenge of the Trial of Flesh was a gauntlet that combined all the horrors they had faced thus far. It was clearly designed to break them, to force them to leave someone behind. But humanity had other plans. Working in perfect synergy, the team devised a rotation system, each member taking turns to bear the brunt of the environmental hazards while the others recovered and planned the next move. It was slow, it was painful, but it was undeniably effective. As they approached the finish line, exhausted beyond measure, but with every team member intact, Amelia felt a swell of pride. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious, not through individual heroics, but through unwavering teamwork and adaptability. The Trial of Flesh ended not with a bang, but with a moment of stunned silence from their Zirconian observers. High Arbiter Zix's voice, when it came, held a note of surprise that bordered on awe. The first trial is complete. Prepare yourselves, humans. The labyrinth of the mind awaits. As medical drones swarmed around them, beginning the process of healing their battered bodies, Amelia shared a weary but triumphant smile with her team. They had passed the first test, defying all expectations. But they all knew this was just the beginning. The true challenges, the ones that would test not just their bodies, but the very essence of what made them human, still lay ahead. The crucible of stars continued, and humanity's champions stood ready to face whatever came next. The transition from the physical challenges to the labyrinth of the mind was jarring. One moment, the team was recovering from the grueling Trial of Flesh. The next, they found themselves in a vast, shimmering construct that seemed to defy the laws of reality. Remember, Dr. Elena Rossi's voice echoed in their minds, a pre-recorded message from their training. The labyrinth will try to break you mentally. Trust yourselves, trust each other, and never lose sight of who you are. As if triggered by her words, the world around them fractured. Each team member found themselves isolated, facing their deepest fears and most painful memories. Amelia gasped as she relived the moment she lost her parents in a space station accident. The guilt, the pain, the overwhelming sense of loneliness threatened to consume her. But through the haze of emotion, she remembered her training. This wasn't real. It was a test. I am Captain Amelia Chen. She spoke aloud, her voice growing stronger with each word. I am more than my past. I am here to lead humanity to a better future. Across the labyrinth, her teammates fought their own battles. John Reynolds faced the ghosts of fallen comrades, their accusing stares nearly breaking his resolve. Zara Okoro grappled with crushing self-doubt, visions of her theories being ridiculed and dismissed by the scientific community. But they weren't alone. Somehow, through the psychic maze, they could sense each other's struggles. It wasn't about overcoming their individual demons. It was about supporting each other through the darkest moments. Slowly, painstakingly, they began to push back against the labyrinth's influence. They shared memories of strength, of triumph, of the bonds they had formed. Each positive thought was a beacon in the darkness, guiding them back to each other. As they regrouped, the labyrinth shifted again. Now they faced complex puzzles and ethical dilemmas, each designed to test the limits of their intelligence and morality. One challenge presented them with a simulation of a dying alien civilization. They had the means to save it, but doing so would potentially alter the course of galactic history. It's a trap, Yuki realized, her eyes wide. The Zirconians are testing our decision-making, seeing if we interfere with the natural order. Amelia nodded, understanding dawning. But they're also testing our compassion, our willingness to help others even at a cost to ourselves. The debate that followed was intense, each team member bringing their unique perspective to bear. In the end, they chose a middle path, offering the alien civilization the tools to save themselves, respecting their autonomy while still extending a helping hand. As they made their decision, the simulation faded, replaced by an even more complex scenario. And so it went, challenge after challenge, each one pushing them to their mental and emotional limits. They faced paradoxes that threatened to unravel their understanding of reality, moral quandaries that forced them to question their deepest beliefs, and psychological warfare designed to turn them against each other. But with each trial, they grew stronger, more unified. They learned to combine Zora's logical problem-solving with Aria's intuitive leaps of imagination. They balanced John's tactical thinking with Yuki's ethical considerations. The Zirconians, observing from beyond the labyrinth, were perplexed. They had expected the humans to break under the mental strain, to turn on each other as the pressure mounted. Instead, they witnessed something unprecedented. A team becoming stronger, more cohesive in the face of adversity. The final challenge of the labyrinth was the most daunting yet. The team found themselves in a simulated future, one where their failure in the Crucible had led to Earth's isolation and eventual destruction. They were forced to witness the consequences of their actions, to face the weight of an entire planet's hopes and fears. For a moment, despair threatened to overwhelm them. The responsibility seemed too great, the cost of failure too high. But then, in the depths of that simulated apocalypse, they found their strength. Not in grandiose visions of heroism, but in small acts of human kindness and resilience. They saw people helping each other, rebuilding, hoping against hope for a better tomorrow. It was Amelia who voiced what they all realized. This isn't a vision of our failure. It's a reminder of why we're here, of what we're fighting for. With renewed determination, they shattered the illusion. As the labyrinth of the mind dissolved around them, they stood united, minds sharp and resolves unbroken. High Arbiter Zix's voice, tinged with what might have been respect, resonated through their minds. You have survived the labyrinth, but the true test awaits. Prepare yourselves for the cosmic crucible. As they braced themselves for the final challenge, Amelia looked at her team with pride. They had faced their deepest fears and emerged stronger. Whatever the cosmic crucible held in store, they would face it together as one. The fate of humanity hung in the balance, but for the first time since the crucible began, Amelia dared to hope. They were ready. The cosmic crucible materialized around them, a vast holographic simulation of galactic proportions. Stars, planets, and entire civilizations flickered into existence, creating a breathtaking tapestry of cosmic life. High Arbiter Zix's voice echoed through the simulation. This is the ultimate test. You will face a crisis that threatens the entire galaxy. Your actions here will determine not just your fate, but that of countless civilizations. Begin. As the words faded, alarms blared across the simulated galaxy. A threat unlike anything they had ever encountered was spreading rapidly, consuming entire star systems in its wake. It's some kind of techno-organic virus, Yuki exclaimed, her eyes wide as she analyzed the data streaming in. It's adapting to every defense it encounters, learning and evolving at an exponential rate. John, already in tactical mode, began organizing their resources. We need to coordinate a galaxy-wide response. Zara, can you model its spread? Zara nodded, her fingers flying over holographic controls. On it. But there's a problem. The virus is targeting communication networks. We're losing contact with affected systems rapidly. Amelia felt the weight of leadership settle on her shoulders. This wasn't just about proving humanity's worth anymore. They were facing a threat that could wipe out all life in the galaxy. We need to think bigger, she said, her mind racing. This isn't just about fighting the virus. We need to unite the galaxy against it. What followed was a masterclass in human ingenuity and teamwork. They divided tasks, each member taking charge of what they did best. Zara and Yuki worked on understanding and countering the virus, their combined expertise in quantum physics and xenobiology, allowing them to make breakthroughs that had eluded other species. John coordinated defense efforts, using his military experience to organize disparate alien fleets into a cohesive force. Aria, with her unconventional thinking, devised novel ways to reestablish communication with infected systems, using methods that ranged from quantum entanglement to improvised relay stations. Amelia took on the monumental task of galactic diplomacy. In a simulated universe fraught with millennia-old conflicts and mistrusts, she had to forge alliances and unite civilizations that had been enemies for longer than humanity had existed. It was grueling work. For every system they saved, two more fell. For every alliance forged, another crumbled under the weight of ancient grudges. The virus adapted to their every move, always one step ahead. But humanity's strength had never been in overwhelming force or technological superiority. It was in their ability to adapt, to think creatively, and to never, ever give up. As the simulation entered its final stages, with half the galaxy consumed and the other half teetering on the brink, Amelia realized what they had been missing. "We've been fighting this like a war," she said, her voice cutting through the chaos of the command center they had established. "But it's not. It's an infection. And what do you do with an infection? You inoculate," Yuki breathed, understanding dawning in her eyes. What followed was a mad scramble, a race against time as they put together a plan that was as brilliant as it was insane. They would use the virus's adaptive nature against it, creating a benign version that could spread just as rapidly, protecting systems before the malignant strain could reach them. It was risky. It meant deliberately infecting trillions of sentient beings with an altered version of the very thing that threatened to destroy them. The diplomatic challenges alone were staggering. But as Amelia presented their plan to the simulated Galactic Council, she spoke with a passion and conviction that transcended species and cultures. "We stand at the brink of annihilation," she said, her voice carrying to every corner of the galaxy. "But in this darkness, we have a chance to light a flame of hope. We can turn our greatest threat into our salvation. It will require trust, sacrifice, and a unity our galaxy has never known. But together, we can do the impossible." As the plan was set in motion, the team worked tirelessly, coordinating efforts across millions of light years. They faced setbacks, moments of despair when it seemed all was lost. But they persevered, each small victory fueling their determination. In the final hours of the simulation, as their modified virus raced the malignant strain to the last untouched sectors of the galaxy, the team held their breath. Everything hung in the balance. And then, like a wave of light sweeping across the cosmos, their solution took hold. System by system, the threat was neutralized. The galaxy was saved. As the simulation faded around them, the team stood in stunned silence. They had done it. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. High Arbiter Zix's voice, when it came, held a note of awe that none of them had ever heard from a Zirconian before. "The cosmic crucible is complete. Humanity has done what no species before them could. You have proven yourselves worthy of the stars." Exhausted but elated, the team embraced, tears of joy and relief flowing freely. They had not just survived the crucible of stars. They had redefined it. As they prepared to return to Earth, bearers of unprecedented news, Amelia knew that everything had changed. Humanity was about to take its place among the stars, not as conquerors or subjects, but as equals, as innovators, as unifiers. The galaxy would never be the same again. The return to Earth was a homecoming like no other. As the Zirconian ship descended through the atmosphere, Captain Amelia Chen and her team stood at the viewing port, their hearts racing with anticipation. Below them, the sprawling metropolis of New Jakarta glittered in the morning sun, a sea of humanity waiting to greet its champions. "I never thought I'd be so happy to see Smog," John quipped, his usual stoicism cracking to reveal a wide grin. Amelia smiled, understanding the sentiment perfectly. After facing the vastness of the cosmos and the mind-bending challenges of the crucible, there was something profoundly comforting about returning to the beautiful imperfections of their home world. As they disembarked, they were met with a roar of celebration that seemed to shake the very ground. Billions around the world watched as High Arbiter Zix, his crystalline form shimmering with an intensity they had never seen before, addressed the assembled crowd and the global audience beyond. "People of Earth," Zix's voice resonated, translated into every human language simultaneously. "Your champions have accomplished what was thought to be impossible. They have not only completed the crucible of stars, but have redefined our understanding of what it means to be a galactic civilization. The implications of Zix's words weren't lost on anyone. Humanity hadn't just passed a test. They had changed the game itself. In the days that followed, Earth became the center of a whirlwind of galactic diplomacy. Representatives from countless alien civilizations arrived, eager to establish relations with the species that had overcome the legendary crucible. Amelia and her team found themselves at the heart of these negotiations, their insights and experiences shaping the future of human-alien relations. But even as they worked tirelessly to secure humanity's place among the stars, they never forgot the lessons they had learned. Our strength isn't in our technology or our physical capabilities, Amelia reminded the United Earth Council during a crucial meeting. It's in our diversity, our adaptability, and our unwavering spirit. We must never lose sight of that. The impact of their success rippled across every aspect of human society. The unity forged in facing the crucible led to unprecedented cooperation on global issues: climate change, poverty, disease. Problems that had once seemed insurmountable were tackled with renewed vigor and innovative solutions inspired by their galactic adventures. Education systems around the world were revolutionized, incorporating lessons learned from the crucible. Creativity and adaptability became as valued as traditional academic skills. The message was clear: humanity's future among the stars would be secured not by conformity, but by nurturing the unique potential in every individual. Yet, with their new status came new responsibilities. The team that had faced the crucible now found themselves ambassadors not just for Earth, but for the very ideals they had embodied in their trials. "We've been given an incredible opportunity," Yuki mused during a rare moment of quiet. "We can help shape a galaxy where cooperation trumps conflict, where diversity is celebrated rather than feared." Zara nodded, her eyes alight with the possibilities. "Imagine the scientific advancements we could make, pooling knowledge from civilizations across the cosmos." As the first anniversary of their return approached, Earth prepared to host the inaugural Galactic Concord Summit. Representatives from thousands of worlds would converge to discuss the formation of a new interstellar alliance, with Earth playing a central role. On the eve of the summit, Amelia stood on the balcony of the newly constructed Harmony Tower, gazing up at the star-filled sky. High Arbiter Zix joined her, his crystalline form reflecting the starlight. "You have sparked a change that will echo through the cosmos for eons to come," Zix said, his tone filled with a warmth that would have been unthinkable a year ago. Amelia smiled, thinking of the journey that had brought them to this moment. "We simply showed the galaxy what we've always known, that our differences are our greatest strength, and that together, there's nothing we can't achieve." As they stood there, human and Zirconian side by side, Amelia felt a profound sense of hope. The crucible of stars had been just the beginning. Humanity's true journey among the cosmos was only just beginning, and the future shone brighter than any star in the night sky. The dawn of a new era had arrived, not just for humanity, but for the entire galaxy. And together, united in their diversity, they would face whatever challenges the universe had in store, ready to turn the impossible into reality, one step at a time.